During this vlog, we are going to explore the silver birch tree, its uses, its history, and how to capture it photographically. Because for me, photography isn't just about taking an image. There's actually layers, depth, and understanding, and there's a lot of science behind the ecology of the forest, how it has its benefits, and also how everything communicates with each other. So I'm learning about this myself, and I'm going to delve deeper into this now. So let's go and have a look for some silver birch trees, teach you guys something new hopefully, and also deepen your connection and understanding of the woodland. Let's go.
Have you ever wondered what a woodland sounds like? Not the song of the morning bird, not the crunch of the ground underfoot, not the whistling of the wind through the trees as the leaves rustle overhead. There is something deeper you can't hear. A slow movement, a quiet vibration. Clicking sounds too quiet for our ears. Moving water too transient for our touch. Oh, if only you could hear what orchestra was at play. Its symphony and alluring melody. Let me introduce you to one method of interpretation. Music of the plants, a device which allows you to listen to the sound of a tree. Its electrodes connect to the base by the roots and another to the leaf. It then receives information by measuring subtle changes within the tree and converts this data into music. Let's connect to our tree and have a listen to its song. See the description for further information and the science behind this device. A section from my poetry diary. The silver birch woodland, a crowded theatre. Long slender bones emerge from the bracken, its breasts bare, its shoulders broad. A spectrum of emerald green fluttering in the light. Arboresque tendu pirouette. Their branches hold each pose gracefully. Snow-white trunk, swan lake, balletic dance. The birch performs, its roots entangled and entwined with the earth below. Fertile soil, saturated ground. Heart-shaped droplets dangling elegantly as its leaves dance softly in the breath of the wind. I have been reading up on this magnificent tree and have a few brief interesting facts to share with you before moving on to some woodland photography.
The silver birch tree. Interesting facts that I do know off the top of my head without looking in the book is there's two types of silver birch tree. You've got the common silver birch tree, which is very white, and then you've got the downy silver birch tree. So silver birch trees, they have basically been a very staple tree in our history, our evolution, and how we've used that tree. I'm going to go very briefly into the history because I know you're not here for the history of the silver birch tree, but I find it fascinating. So the silver birch tree was one of the first trees to arise after the Ice Age, recent Ice Age, and it is very fast populating. So the seed spread, you have these dense woodlands, as you can see behind me, and they don't last very long. Approximately 50 to 80 years is their lifespan. They're used for quite a lot of things. Their roots are really good for making baskets, and the sap within the tree is drinkable. So if you harvest the sap around February, March, when sap is in full flow, then you can enjoy the benefits of drinking the sap. But just make sure that you have identified your tree correctly. So the silver birch tree, I think for me, is a really beautiful tree to capture in the autumn. You have the changing colours of the leaves, you've got the silvery trunk which stands out and reflects the light really well. It is more challenging to capture and photograph this tree in the summer because you have a lot of dark greens, a lot of greens. As you can see now, we are really, really green. So you want to try and counteract that with maybe some processing in Photoshop and things like that. And is there anything else I've missed out? I've just got my trusty notes here. Anything about silver birch trees that I think might be useful? The last thing actually is really quite important, and I'm really excited about it. I actually can't contain the excitement of talking about this. But so the silver birch tree really loves its fungi. It interacts really well with mycelium, so the underground fungal network that's going on. And I'm going to do a whole other video about this, but not right now because it's so vital and so vast that I don't think talking about it is going to achieve much now, other than just like blowing your brain, unless you already know about this. But essentially it can interact with various different types of fungi and is a huge host for the fungi production, and it's very good for enriching the soil. So we do like silver birch trees. They are good at enriching our soils. So now we've got the facts out of the way. I hope I covered everything that was useful and quite fascinating, really. There's just such stunning trees, really hardy, really good for making things. They were used as tablets, which the Romans would write on, which was quite an interesting fact that I stumbled across. But let's set up a composition. Let's try and frame these stunning trees and capture some leaves for my reference book. So we have this collection of silver birch trees here. The foreground is being illuminated by the sunlight, this golden light which is piercing through the open canopy because you don't have dense leaves here in this silver birch tree woodland. And it's hitting these ferns, these cushion ferns, which are sort of eloping over each other. Now I like this composition because there is a lot of depth to it. You've got these trees in the middle here. I'm doing a wider scene with them all included, and then I'm also just focusing in on the three that are in the background. How I'm capturing this image is I am using focus peaking to make sure that I am in focus. I'm some distance back, making sure that I can get everything good depth of field. Settings wise, I am shooting at about f6.3, between that and f8. ISO, I am about ISO 500, and then focal length wise, I'm at about 24 mil. Shutter speed, I'm keeping quite fast because I just don't want any camera shake and I don't want any movement in the leaves. So the light's coming through now. As you can see, everything is illuminating really beautifully, and I'm just using my polarizer to spin this around and take the glare off the leaves. So that is how I would capture this image. Now we've listened to the silver birch tree. I'm now going to show you this image on the screen with more of that majestic music, and then we'll keep looking to see if we can find any more. I really enjoyed capturing this beautiful tree. There were so many image potentials and compositions, I didn't actually have enough time to capture them all, which is why we've only got one section covered in a tutorial style video. Thank you so much for joining me and also bearing with me with my content. I really appreciate all of your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. After suffering my own creative burnout, I've decided to make something special to help others find their focus and flow with creativity. Welcome to Focus Flow. This is a mindful photography platform, a little bit like Headspace or Calm. It has sleep stories, which was my landscape photography sleep story podcast, mindful resources, and tailor-made meditations to unlock your creative mind. Members will have exclusive access to mindful and relaxing content
specifically designed for photographers. There is something for everyone, from fact sheets to learning about the woodland to a community book club. Focused Flow looks at all aspects of enhancing your creative growth. If you're interested in joining me, head over to my website and unlock your creative mind today.